The NFL rumor mill is in full effect today as we find out a little more detail on who the Pittsburgh Steelers might want to move up for in the draft. Question on the table today, very similar to last time. Should the Chicago Bears trade the number 9 pick, but this time with the knowledge that the Steelers might want to take Jalen Carter? We'll talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So the Chicago Bears, remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers were talking about the possibility of keeping that phone line open on draft day because they might want to move up. But we thought that that would probably end up being for an offensive tackle, right? But now it is seeming like the Chicago Bears might be in a situation where if they trade this pick, the player that they have rumored to be coveting might be going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that player is Jalen Carter. Listen, we know a lot about Jalen Carter. We've broken down a ton about Jalen Carter on this channel. Everything that's come with the arrest warrants and different things like that, and the actual kind of player that he is for whatever team he goes to. But there is the aspect of the immaturity in Jalen Carter that has come up time and time again. So to me, right, this is not an out of the question trade if you don't feel like you have the culture here in Chicago to make that trade or to make that selection, right? I will say this. I do believe that Jalen Carter is the best player available at his position. I do believe that he is one of the best players in the NFL draft. I do think that he is a blue chip player that you can build your team around. But the question is, are you going to be able to get the most out of him here in Chicago? I would hope so, right? Like, listen, that's you're building a culture here. You're putting your culture in place. You're trying to get this hits principle, trying to put this team together, right? And you're trying to find leaders that are going to be here in the long term. And you just paid a bunch of money to linebackers. It'd be nice for you to be able to go out there and get a defensive piece that's actually going to be able to draw some attention, open up some holes for them so that they're able to do the things that they do best. And for the love of God, actually have somebody that's able to put pressure on the quarterback. But the big thing is, if you don't feel like you have that system in place that's going to be able to develop Jalen Carter, that's going to be able to deal with the immaturities right now, right? Like, it's not like you'll never have that culture. It's not like the Bears will never be that team. But you have to have that in place already, and the Bears are just now kind of building that. I mean, we're 2 years into this thing with Flus. Excuse me. It seems like he's building a really good system, a really good culture here. But do you want to throw something into the mix that he's going to have to focus so much time on early on? That's the question that Ryan Poles has to answer. I think that Jalen Carter is a stud, but if the Steelers were to come knocking, now the ball is in your court because they know how much you like Jalen Carter. Or maybe is this Ryan Poles playing the game and he knew that the situation would come up. And so he knew, okay, we got to show like we love this guy so that we can get people that want to move up in the draft to take this guy. I don't know if that's the situation there. If it is, you're playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers out here, Ryan. Shout out to King Poles out here. But to me, right, if the Steelers come calling now, and remember, in the trade proposal I had the Bears giving up 17 or getting back 17 and 32 for this pick initially. This is the reason why, although I thought it would be for an offensive tackle. Again, another one of the guys that the Chicago Bears might have liked at that position, but it did come out that the Bears wouldn't let Jalen Carter fall past them if he did fall to 9. The only thing that now kind of makes this an up and down point to me is that this is all predicated on Jalen Carter falling to 9. If he does fall to 9, do you think the Chicago Bears should take him? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Or do you think the Chicago Bears should trade this pick? Should they draft Jalen Carter at 9, or should they trade this pick if he were to fall to them? Because now all the leverage is in their court. They have an opportunity now where they can say, hey, listen, let's go out there and get, you're going to give us 17 17, you're going to give us 32, and we'll give you the number 9 pick straight up, and then we'll be down there and we'll make our picks, whatever it is. We turn these players into whoever that may be, right? I don't know. Who do they have slated going at 17 right now to the Steelers? They had Joey Porter Jr. I don't know about that. I think if the Bears were to move down to 17, right, it seems like recently Kalijah Kancey is falling. I've seen him as low as 20 on some charts. To me, that would be a reason why the Chicago Bears would even make this trade in the first place. If you saw somebody like him start to fall down that draft board, I love what Kalijah Kancey was able to do out of Pittsburgh, man. And I just think that if he does fall, that's your answer. Not only are you getting more draft capital at 17, or adding more draft capital in with the 32nd pick, or realistically, right, if they were to give you, say, what do they have? I think they have 49, right? If they had 17 and 49, I would say I'm going to need a 4th or a 5th back, at a minimum a 4th. I don't even know if I'd go a 5th, right? I'd try to finesse maybe a 3rd out of them, but I'm going to need more draft compensation. No, we don't want another player. We got enough of those already. We got to start making some picks here, right? But to me, right, like the fact that Kalijah Kancey seems to be slowly sliding down draft boards, which is very, very surprising to me, because he looks like a dog. Like, to me, it's Jalen Carter, Kalijah Kancey. I know Tyree Wilson's name has been up there, right? Like, I don't know. To me, I look at those guys and I feel like he's the guy that I would love to see the Chicago Bears go out there and get if they weren't to get Jalen Carter. That would be a situation where I'd be okay with the Bears making this trade. I think that you're in a situation right now where you just need to figure out how to get pressure up front. You need to get guys in here that are going to get pressure up front. And the most recent mock draft from The Athletic has the Bears focusing on the line quite a bit in this draft. It actually had the Bears drafting Jalen Carter. But to me, again, it all depends on how this thing falls, how this thing slates. The fear there is, though, right, maybe somebody loves Kalijah Kancey more than you do. And if that was your guy and you're at 17, how many of your guys are coming off the board before it gets back to you? Now, the good thing is, though, right, once it gets to you, again, it's first round, you're still getting an impact player, or you should be. Once it gets to you, you're then able to pick again at 32, getting back the pick that was traded for Chase Claypool, which in essence is a first round pick, but realistically it's a second round pick, right? It's not going to get the same first round pick, contract stipulation, stuff like that, but you're getting the 32nd pick, basically your second round pick. You're going to get that back, the pick you traded for Claypool. In my opinion, that would be the deal I'd love to see the Bears do there. Again, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. What do you think the Chicago Bears should do? Should they trade the pick for Jalen Carter if he does fall to 9, or should they just draft Jalen Carter? Again, I think Jalen Carter is an absolute monster, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't think Mike Tomlin's in a better situation to develop this guy than where the Chicago Bears are right now. That's a completely different situation, right? Like 10 years worth of culture is built there. How long has he been there? 10? Maybe 12? How long has Mike Tomlin been there? He's been there a long time. He might be in the teens even. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down to talk with you as well. Something else I did want to bring up, as the Chicago Bears did make a signing today. Chicago Bears signed wide receiver Dante Pettis to the roster yet again. Pettis is an interesting one to me because nothing crazy about Dante Pettis last season, right? And he was one of the guys who the ball went through his hands. But essentially, you're signing Dante Pettis to be a special teamer, which he's a pretty good special teamer. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like, I like him returning the football. I think that he did a good job there, right? Like, you still got, I think he's probably your 5th wide receiver on the roster coming into this season. This is a depth decision to me, right? You want to have guys on the system or in the system that already understand the system, so you keep Dante Pettis around. You got Equinemius St. Brown. You still got Mooney, hopefully. You got Claypool here. You got Cole Kmet here. You're adding DJ Moore into the mix, right? I think that this is just having more guys here that already understand the system instead of bringing guys in that you're going to have to completely reteach. Also, I think it's a special teams move to me. You keep him around because he is a solid special teams player, and you're going to be able to get some good production out of him back there. I don't want to see Velus Jones returning. I just don't. I'm sorry. Like, I know there's this, like, we're going to hold out hope for this guy to come back and have this comeback season and he's going to be this monster. I don't want the, I'm hoping in Velus Jones to be the reason that we win this thing. I'm not that guy. It's just not me, right? So to me, I think that this is a special teams move. Like the move, nothing crazy, right? It's a 1-year deal, basically. And I'm trying to see what the contract ended up being. I probably should have checked that before I jumped up in here, and I can't read that small print. So, but listen, it's nothing crazy money wise for Dante Pettis, right? And like I said, a guy that you can get in there and he fits a role with Justin Fields. I like the move there. He played in all 17 games last season. He caught 19 passes for 245 yards. Again, like I said, like nothing major here. I don't even see the money being listed here. Let me look on let me look at Daniel Greenberg. Is this a vet minimum type of thing here? Let me double check here. I'm sure you guys already have it. Well, if you see it, no, it just says a 1-year deal. Okay. Well, if anybody finds the money, let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well on that. To continue watching our Chicago Bears content, man, and we're going to have a ton of it coming out this year. Click the links on the screen. Check the links in the description below. Make sure to stay tuned in with us, man. Make sure that you guys are dropping Bear Dons in the chat. I need to see some Bear Dons in the comments below as well. Let me know that you made it to the end of the video by dropping a simple Bear Don in this mug, man. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.